Hello, this is my video on critical thinking with technology. My name is Mitch Kuchera, and with the massive amount of technology out there nowadays and the increase in use of that technology, it is the responsibility of people with the knowledge to teach critical thinking when using the technology. But first thing we have to do to realize how to teach those critical thinking, we need to know what critical thinking is. Critical thinking is a disciplined thinking that is clear, rational, open-minded, and informed by evidence, meaning that it's directed thought. It is a concentrated thought on one subject. It's evaluative, not reactive. So it's more of a deep thought. It's swayed by logic and not emotion. So it's actually swayed by real things and logic-based arguments, and often supported by research. It is a skill that needs to be taught, and as educator, that's one of our jobs, is to teach the soft skill, which is critical thinking. The way technology ties in with the critical thinking is when you take a look at the world now. There's a large amount of sources and a large amount of programs that have a different level of accuracy, very easy to access, and anyone with a lack of experience with these sources can be either tricked or not know how to use the sources and this technology. Often the death of critical thinking is emotion, which is something that authors and creators of apps play on. It's sources with headlines, and the power of persuasion and the fake news is you'll believe what you want to believe, and that's an emotional level of thinking, which is not critical thinking. And we must be able to distinguish. It must be able to be distinguished, and that's one of our responsibilities as instructors, is to know what to look for when it comes to the apps we use and the sources we get through technology, and know if that is actually useful and if we aren't just wasting our time with that technology. Some of the big issues is it is a life skill. It needs to be taught in general. It's one of the soft skills. So critical thinking, whether it's with technology or without technology, it needs to be taught to survive. There's also huge prevalence of making decisions on when to use it, when to use technology, when to use sources without the influence. So, for example, with my high school students, I have to change bad habits that they believe that, oh, I can just Google it and I'll be able to get all the right answers. So it needs to be taught while changing those bad habits of thinking emotionally when it comes to getting sources and getting informations for arguments, and actually be evaluative when you think about the certain topics or about certain apps you use. Critical thinking while using technologies, there's questions you have to ask. So when you use technology to find sources, is the source credible? Is the information coming from a legitimate source? Is it useful? Do I get the positive information from this source that I need or I want? And here you go. Do I need the information? Is the information I'm using supporting, or is it just filler to make a paper longer or be able to talk longer? Then when it comes to using applications and programs, is this technology useful? So I need to look at the useful nature. Is it useful to complete my overall goal? What are the capabilities of the programs? Am I using the program effectively, or can I be using it much better? Then you have the ethical use of the program. Am I breaking any copyright laws by using these programs? Or am I using this technology to honestly convey thoughts? Or am I using it to dishonestly convey thoughts and play on people's emotions? So you have to look at these questions when using technology, and that's a big part of critically thinking. And as instructors, we have to look at sources we use as an example and teach our students what to use. The main source that I used was to find the definition of critical thinking, and from there I ran with the different topics from the definition and from some of the descriptions. And critically thinking with technology is something I think we take advantage of or take for granted. And critical thinking using technology is a skill that I will forever be developing myself, along with teaching my students. Thank you.